again, I want your initial reaction, Pierre, first of all, and then we're going to go to the Skype lines here. But I want your initial reaction to the firings yesterday, Ray Farmer and Mike Pettine.
Mike Pettine, the name of the game is winning. So
I think he knew that too.
Yeah,
right?
he knew that. He knew that. He told the guys that, and he understood that. And I think those guys in that locker room should feel bad. Honestly, the most disrespectful guy in that whole locker room was Johnny Manziel. Some of them guys, I mean, if I see him on the street, I'll smack him.
You would smack Johnny Manziel. So why would you smack him? Why?
To be in Vegas when you should be there on the sideline with your team and supporting those guys like they supported you. They block their ass off for you, and you go and do something like that and say, well, I don't want to be here. I'd rather be in Dallas.
All right, but listen, there are a lot of people that will call this morning, whether it's my radio show or here. And there's the picture, that he said that he was in Avon on Saturday. I've got 100 reports that he was in Vegas on Saturday night.
Listen.
So at first we were questioning where he really was. Everything I've heard, he was in Vegas.
Yeah,
was he in Vegas?
He was in Vegas.
Yes, he was.
My thing is, if you're here, you're at the game on the sideline. Dwayne Bowe was on the sideline.
Oh, that's true.
Josh was on the sideline. Everybody else was on the sideline except Johnny Manziel, regardless you got a concussion or not. Those guys are going to be there. If they're not in the sideline, they up in the skybox. They're there.
Are you done with Johnny Manziel? Because we're going to get into that too. You done with Johnny?
There's no excuses. No, don't talk about young, this, that, whatever. He need to get smacked in the face, man. He's very disrespectful to this organization, to his family, to his teammates, everything, anything and everything. He's very disrespectful to everyone, and there's no excuse for that.
All right, let's bring in Kenny Rhoda. Hi, Kenny. How are you?
Good morning. It's deja vu all over again, Andy.
Yeah, every 2 years we get together and do this. It's like our anniversary.
It is. Happy anniversary.
Happy anniversary to everybody. All right, Kenny, first, I just want to kind of rapid fire through some of the things that are going on. Phone lines are doing pretty good this morning, so we're going to pick those up here in a second. Again, if you're watching now, you can call in. It's live. It's, 7:36 on Monday morning. If you're listening to this on the podcast, obviously, we've already done the show, and we want your input. Let's do a little rapid fire just to start things off with you. First of all, your thoughts, Mike Pettine fired.
I was happy to see Mike Pettine go. I didn't think he was head coaching material. Let's go back a couple of years when they hired him. He was their fourth or fifth or sixth choice, whatever it was. So not surprising to me. It's one of the times that I've agreed with Jimmy Haslam. So I thought firing Mike Pettine was the right move.
All right, next point. Ray Farmer. Fire? Yes? No? Good idea? Bad idea?
Great.
Second time I agreed with Jimmy Haslam, and that's where it will stop with Ray Farmer. Ray Farmer was one of the worst talent evaluators, talent acquisition guys I've ever seen in maybe Cleveland Browns history. So good riddance to Ray Farmer.
You know, the crazy thing is that Ray played the game, and you would think that he would have took more points of emphasis about evaluating talent or getting better scouts in there. That's just,
No, I hear you. All right, Kenny, let me throw the last one at you, too. All right, so we're done with Ray Farmer. We're done with Mike Pettine. Johnny Manziel, are you done with him?
Good riddance. So long. He doesn't want to be here. His actions off the field, to me, say he does not want to be here, and he's basically holding the Browns hostage. Can they get anything for him, a draft pick? The new GM, which is Sashi Brown, basically, because whoever they hire is going to answer to him and be a scout. So Sashi Brown has to try and find a way to get something for him. If not, they just cut him. So good riddance to Johnny Manziel. They haven't made that decision yet. If they do, that's another time that I will agree with them, which is very rare. But yeah, I'm done with Johnny Manziel.
Hey, random trade proposal. I want to know if you guys would do this.
Eric, the referee, is here. Let me introduce him.
Random trade proposal. Would you trade Johnny Manziel for Sean Payton?
Yeah. In a heartbeat.
Oh, God, yes.
What? Yes. Get rid of
I would too. I would too.
Get rid of
Is that what they want? Is that what New Orleans wants?
That's not happening.
I don't know if they would do that.
I mean, if you're New Orleans and you've got Drew Brees, who's probably one of the most cerebral guys I think I've ever talked to as far as quarterbacks go. I mean, he's a smart dude. You're going in a totally different direction if you bring in Johnny Manziel.
Yeah,
Johnny might be football smart. I might give him that.
Drew Brees is also.
Johnny came off as a total spoiled brat, and he just stuck it right to the Browns yesterday. I mean, they couldn't even get a hold of him, according to Peter King.
Boy, was Merrill Hodge right on the money on Johnny Manziel or what?
Say that again, Kenny?
Was Merrill Hodge right on the money about Johnny Manziel? he was the guy on draft night that came out and said, this is a spoiled brat, and the Browns were stupid for drafting him. Maybe they should go hire Merle Hodge. He found out information and had information on Johnny Manziel.
Yeah. You're absolutely correct. He knows football. So evaluating talent is something that he knows. Not know Sasha Brown. I mean, I don't know the guy personally, but I don't care about analytics. You know, you need somebody that knows football.
Kenny, doesn't it smell like the Indians a little bit as far as analytics and old school?
Baseball and football.
It really does. But here's what I'll give the Indians credit from this standpoint. When they hired Mark Shapiro after John Hart left, at least it was a winning organization. When Antonetti took over for Shapiro, they made the playoffs within a few years, and so he was within the organization and saw them win before. Sashi Brown, what are they, 19-45 since Haslam took over as the owner in 2012? You're hiring from within the organization who has a 297 winning percentage over the last 4 years. You're staying within your house on a team that is drafting second and has the tied for the worst record in the league and almost had the first pick in the draft. How do you hire within when you're 3-13 this year and a 297 winning percentage over the last 4 years?
All right, Kenny, we'll come back here in 1 second. I want to bring in George from Lakewood. Phone lines are starting to really stack up here in a second. So, again, 216-431-3820, and also on Skype, Dogs on the Run. Let's go to George in Lakewood, who always starts us off here on Dogs on the Run. Hi, George.
Good morning, gentlemen. There's nothing really to say. There's really nothing to say. It's fucking putrid. This is a putrid... wait. There is something to say. Why didn't Johnny Manziel just go to the Horseshoe Casino and gamble? I didn't know he had to go to Vegas.
I think the bigger problem with him going to Vegas is if he was truly in the concussion protocol, the worst thing you can do a couple days into a concussion is bright lights. He went to the worst city on earth for that, didn't he?
This is what I don't understand. Why does guys still around people that got cell phones that take pictures?
Well, I didn't see any pictures of him. Did you?
It was a picture of him with some of the
in
guys.
Vegas?
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
Well,
I thought he tweeted the picture, though, didn't he?
I don't know who did, but all I know it was 4 guys, and he was one of them. You got to be the most idiotic fool in the world. Now, they just said Chris Brown smacked some girl for bringing the phone into one of his private parties. I don't know if he did it or didn't, but that's what they saying. He don't like no phones.
George, do you like what Jimmy Haslam did yesterday?
To a point. I don't even know who this Sasha individual is. And analytics, no, you need football people in the front office. You need a football coach that knows what the hell he's doing.
All right. Are you still a lifelong Browns fan?
Oh, of course.
Right,
I've been a lifelong Browns fan since I was 4 years old.
Oh, that's a good resume. Hey, listen, last point. Just tell everyone what you want them to know, George from Lakewood thinks, about this season and the Browns moving forward.
The season this year, in 2 words, fucking putrid. For 13 weeks, we called and bitched and moaned about it. And 3 times we were in a little ecstasy like my friend Brutus here. Brutus is the ecstasy, and Snowy's been the agony.
Wow. All right.
So Michigan did kick ass over Florida, okay? That's from up north.
That's Michigan, buddy.
I love that Cleveland hat that you have on there, Mr. Woods.
I appreciate it.
At least there's a little optimism. Spring trading doesn't, not that far away.
All right, George, I'm tweeting out that you used the full effect of Dogs on the Run. George, thank you. I'm sure we'll talk to you soon. I think after they hire a new coach or general manager, we'll bring you back in as well. We'll do another Dogs on the Run.
We need to analyze the draft.
Well, that's coming up, too. That's another issue that we'll get into that when we get there. All right, Kenny, let's bring you back in.
Real quick, I want to just, for those who don't know who Sashi Brown is, here's a quick update. We have a full screen.
All right, let's go through this. Why don't you go through and tell us who Sashi is? Thank you, George. Appreciate it.
So he's going to be the Executive Vice President of Football Operations.
Right.
He'll be in charge of the salary cap and have final say on the Browns roster.
So wait, let's just backtrack. Let's go through this bit by bit. He's already been in charge of the salary cap. He is their salary cap guru.
Yes.
Okay, go ahead.
He's been with the Browns since 2013.
Correct.
Okay.
Before that, he spent 7 years with the Jacksonville Jaguars. He went to Harvard Law School and was named on the Sports Business Journal's 40 under 40 list last year.
Okay. Can I?
Let me give you one other thing about Sashi that we talked about this last night on Sports Sunday that no one's really talking about. He also worked in the law firm right out of college with Alex Scheiner. They both worked at the same law firm. Just to give you some clarity on that.
And real quick, here's Jimmy Haslam talking about Sashi.
Okay.
He's very smart, very organized, good at systems and processes, and an outstanding team player. He's also very strategic, and so we will use those skills.
All right, listen, here's what I was told about Sashi Brown last night. Now, you can believe this or you don't want to believe it, whatever you want. That there was a problem in-house with Mike Pettine and Ray Farmer. They were on different pages. The way the tree is set up now, Sashi Brown's ultimate job is to take care of the 53-man roster. I don't think that his ultimate job is to go out and evaluate talent. It's to make sure they have the best 53 guys on the roster. His job is not going to be talent acquisition. He's also in charge of the cap. But more important than that, he is going to be someone the general manager has to answer to. And so if you look at the tree of the Browns right now, this is the way it's supposed to flow. On the business side, Alex Scheiner reports to Jimmy Haslam. Okay? On the football operations side and the football side, the new head coach will report to Jimmy Haslam. The general manager will report to Sashi Brown. Sashi Brown will report to Jimmy Haslam. They tried to put a couple steps in there. Essentially, though, and Kenny, I want to bring you in on this too, what they're doing is they're bringing in another George Kokinis at general manager. This is the least attractive general manager job in the history of sport. Agree or disagree? Start with you, Kenny. Oh, no, we didn't lose his audio, did we?
Joe.
There we go. We have your audio back. Go ahead.
Okay, yeah, I was shaking my head there because I'm listening to you and can't believe if that is indeed the structure that they're trying to put together. You're right. This is a George Kokinis hire. This is basically a pro scout that is going to be in charge of evaluating talent, and that's all he is. He's a scout, and he will answer to Sashi, and the coach will answer to Jimmy and Alex Scheiner, who I hope has nothing to do with the on-the-field production. Hey, he's made Jimmy a lot of money, so that's why he's still around, okay? But as far as the football, decisions, hopefully he has nothing to do with it. I just find this stupefying, is the word that I used last.
Kenny, now Alec was in on the interviewing process the last two times I heard. He is not in on the interviewing process this time.
Thank God.
So,
Well, I will say this. It sounds like Roger Goodell getting his right-hand man to do things. It's not good. It's not good for the organization, period. I mean, you got to answer to one guy, to another guy, to the head man. Look, you're the owner. You be the owner of the team. You just pay the guys. You get you a GM who runs everything. If you don't trust the GM, then you get somebody else to become the GM. You don't have somebody to analyze and tell the GM what to do. The GM got to answer to him, and this person got to answer to that person. That's stupid.
they could have, in this scenario, Kenny, the way I look at it is, by promoting Sashi, I think they could have kept Mike Pettine. This would have been one of the few scenarios that would have worked out for Mike to keep his job. You with me on that?
Yes and no. I think Mike Pettine, you look at his record, 7-9, and then Jimmy came out and said, we can't lose 18 of 21 today. And right there, I'm like, okay, I hear you. That's good. That's right. Get rid of Mike Pettine. You just can't keep a coach around regardless, of how much you like him and what you think maybe he was their fourth or fifth choice. Some guys are better off as coordinators, and some guys are head coaching material. And I'm sorry, he trended in the opposite direction from when they hired him to the point yesterday where they lost again to the Pittsburgh Steelers. So there was no way I was keeping Mike Pettine around no matter who they promoted or going to hire or whatever they're going to do.
They should have cut Dwayne Bowe yesterday, too. When they fired Mike Pettine, they should have fired Dwayne Bowe.
Well, he's fired anyways. He's not going to stick around. I mean, it's not.
You know what? This whole thing about having, I guess it's because his last name, he's a smart guy, went to Harvard Law and all that. I'll get Matt Patricia. He can do all that. I mean, this guy can build a plane, fly the plane, land the plane, come back and coach. That's, come on.
All right, so let's kind of dive into this a little bit more too, Kenny. All right, So now you've got a situation where you're going to have a head coach, I believe, is going to have a ton of power. And this is my Coquinez theory is the head coach is going to have pretty much all the say, is what it sounds to me, except for the 53-man roster. And he's going to be in on the hiring process of his own general manager. To me, that's mind-blowing to me, but I can kind of understand it if the head coach is going to report straight to the owner. I don't know who would want this general manager job, and I do think they made the head coach's job a little bit more attractive in that way. Pierre, go first.
But it's just like, all right, the coaches normally decide who are on the 53-man roster, right?
It depends on the scenario. And, if you're Bill Belichick, yes. If you're Mike Pettine, no. Well, if you're one of the lowest paid coaches in the league, that's where you are. If you're
the coaches and the GM then. So that's the way it should be.
You would hope that these guys would be together, and that's the only way we're ever going to move forward.
But for one guy who doesn't even coach, who's up in a front office, who doesn't coach, and he's in the front office, who doesn't see the players all like that, but got to watch film or come out and do things like that, like this man's a numbers guy.
Right.
Like he's a money numbers guy. You know what I'm saying? He does a salary. He doesn't do football. That's what I'm saying. He doesn't do football, period.
I think his only job, though, is to make sure that there's someone in the building every day to be that voice of... Look, and I'm just telling you this...
Then why is he in charge of the 53-man roster?